What do we know about this new crypto cyber czar? Who is she?
Eun Choi has been with the Department of Justice for almost 10 years, spending the vast majority of the time looking into cyber crimes, money laundering, dark web issues. So no surprise that she got this leadership role, which is kind of a point person among all the different agencies that the government has looking into crypto, because crypto touches so many different aspects, so many different new laws that we normally have. You have an SEC point person for crypto. IRS has a point person for crypto, so it's kind of getting everyone on the same page, in policing and looking at, all the kinds of illicit activity that can happen with it.
Does this mean we're getting closer to tangible crypto regulation?
So this is going to be, I think, more on the enforcement side and getting more people on the same page in terms of policing these issues. So I think as they go through that and sort of go through some of these enforcement cases, they look at the kinds of things, the kinds of regulations that can help them better comply with, for instance, anti-money laundering rules, know your customer, Bank Secrecy Act stuff. So, as that sort of continues to grow, you get a bit more case law on, the kinds of things the government is interested in.
Sonali, how big and growing is the threat of crypto cybercrime?
It's really interesting because as you saw, cryptocurrency adoption really increased so much last year, Emily. Chainalysis is showing you that illicit addresses took in about $14 billion over the course of last year, with that number likely to grow as they get more information. The overwhelming amount of this, if you take a look at this chart, is in DeFi. A lot of rug pulls over here where investors, developers set up a project, take the money, and run. And so what they're saying here is that investors have to be really careful about verification when they're getting into DeFi projects. But Chainalysis also does say that this is still very much a product of the market growing so fast last year.
How does the rise in illicit transactions compare to legitimate transactions?
Yeah, it's interesting because it's proportions, right? So if you look at how much of it was illicit activity, it was less than 1%. There's another chart from Chainalysis here that shows you that it's actually 0.15% was the percentage of total volumes that you saw, and that was less than what you saw even a year before that, and less than you saw in 2019 by a large margin. But with that said, 14 billion in total volumes is almost doubling from a year before that, and they do warn that this massive increase in total volumes is something to be worried about, as regulators are really looking at that and starting to crack down on that number.
Now, Matt, looking at this report, certain time zones, including Russian cities, are the places where they suspect the most or biggest criminal whales. How will crypto regulators crack down on folks abroad?
Yeah, that's the big problem and has been with crypto. It's not like, a bank account that you can get a court to get an asset freeze. It's just this borderless digital currency, that kind of sloshes around to these unregistered exchanges. So the U.S. is going to look at where do those crypto exchanges touch the U.S. financial system, because whatever bank is being used, they are going to be under the umbrella of U.S. regulations. But again, that's part of the reason why they have this new point person to coordinate with all the different federal agencies looking into this.